This is Low Growl. Be assimilated into the Low Growl Legion right now. Welcome back to all of you, new and OGs. I got some things to talk to you about, and it's pretty exciting. Lately we've been talking about side hustles and what we do to make extra income so that we can get out of the rat race. Any of y'all that have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, y'all know what the rat race is all about. And I'm trying to get up out of it. I've been trying to get up out of it for a minute. But now my commitment level is just in a new place. And I'm going to share some things with you guys. But first, I want to tell y'all about something that happened. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cough right in your ear. It's a voice acting opportunity. For those of you that don't know, I'm a school teacher by day, but my side hustle is professional voice acting. I want it to be my primary hustle, but it hasn't reached that point yet. COVID slowed it down so much. Just to give you an idea of the type of things I've done in my voice acting career so far, I did some work for Bass Pro Shops. I did some work for the NCAA tournament. I did some work for the San Francisco 49ers. When their 70th year anniversary came up, I got to do all of their online commercials and even some offline stuff to celebrate that. And that was one of my biggest paydays I ever had. I worked for about 20 minutes. I read for about 20 minutes and I made almost $2,000. That's when I knew. I'm not just playing. I've been passionate about wanting to be in voiceover for a very long time. Actually, my voice changed like this when I was 13. But of course, back then, we didn't have YouTube and all the social media and things like that to expose ourselves. And I'm like, I'm a young black boy living downtown Newport News in the hood. So, I had no idea, even if I was interested then, of how to put my voice out there and stuff like that. But people told me all my life, hey man, you got that golden voice. You can make some money with your voice, man. I'm telling you, you got to do something with that. So fast forward many years later, and I started hearing that kind of talk again. And I just felt like, I was just like, I'm going to try to do something about this. So what I did was I put together a crowdfunding. I put together a crowdfunding campaign so that I can raise the $600 that it would cost for me to take the voice acting classes. Part of the package was you get a professional demo. You get a professional demo when you finish the class. However, when I got into the class, give me a second, I don't know what's going on. I got some phlegm action. All right, I should be good to go. But you get a professional demo so you can shop yourself around, see if you can get some work. So I raised the $600 and I went to the classes. It's in a place here in Virginia, over in Virginia Beach, called Studio Center. And I put that out there just because they still do classes. So if any of you are interested in doing voiceover work, if you're in Virginia, look into Studio Center. It was a great opportunity. $600 I felt was a little steep, but people believed in me and I raised the money. Surprisingly enough, a lot of it did not come from family and people I was close to, but that's another story. Fast forward, I get into the class and I'm telling you, I rise to the top of this class to the point where the instructor would listen to other people in the booth. We all had to take turns and critique each other, but it got to the point where the instructor would automatically look at me for my feedback, because it's like everything she was thinking, I was thinking the same thing. And it wasn't like anything bad, but it's like you can tell when a person is self-conscious in the booth and they're like holding back instead of truly getting into character and like really putting it all on the line. And things worked out well. So my I was with the producer and my teacher, and they were recording my demo. I was recording last out of the group of 8 of us, and the producer, the engineer, he was like, I can see you saved the best for last. And then he gave me all these encouraging words and stuff, and just built me up. And we're friends to this day. I apologize. I don't know, but that leads me to what I want to tell y'all about right now, which is a long time I've been hoping to do some work with like a big name toy company or something like that, right? So I get an audition for Black Panther. Hasbro, they coming out with a toy line for the new Black Panther movie, right? I get this audition and I see it's Hasbro, and I'm like, hold on, now this is the big time stuff. And I've done a lot of auditions, but I'm kind of like, okay. The thing I had started noticing over my years at the studio is the deep voices and things like that. It's not as in high demand as I thought it would be. I thought I'd work more often than I did, or than I have, but it just seems like the trend nowadays is the guy next door, light, friendly voice and stuff like that. And I'm just like, hey, I got more range than just my speaking voice. I can go up when I need to and stuff like that, but a lot of opportunities I didn't get because they were looking for that normal sounding guy. Anyways, this was about a month ago. I auditioned for the Black Panther, and I get a call last Wednesday. Today is Monday, the 22nd, I believe. I got a call last Wednesday. I was on my way from a staff meeting or something like that from the school, and the lady said, "Hi, Brad. We need you for the session tomorrow. Hasbro wants to book you to do the Black Panther." I'm just, I'm always kind of like chill, like how y'all see me on the channel. I'm always kind of laid back like that. Inside of me was just screaming and jumping and shouting, though. Like I was so excited. I was so happy to get something of this caliber finally, So they say, hey, we need you to be here at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, of course, we getting ready to go back to school, so they're doing conferences and different things like that, and it's mandatory for teachers. So I'm like, man, let me see what the schedule says. So I was like, is it possible we can do it a little bit later? And then she didn't sound too good about that one. So I looked at the schedule again, and I realized that, okay, actually all my sessions I need to do are later. So I have my morning kind of clear. So she says, cool, I'm gonna go book it now. She calls me back. She says, hey, we need to do 10:30. And I tell her, look, I don't care when you book it, I'm coming. Like, even if it interferes with this thing, like I had made up in my mind, I'm gonna skip out on these conferences and everything else to get this gig, So they book it. I'm excited. Nothing's gonna stop me from doing this thing. But as a courtesy, I call my principal and I say, hey, I just got a call from my studio. I do voice acting on the side, but I just got booked to do this Black Panther thing. My principal said, hey, don't you come to anything Newport News is offering tomorrow. Drink your tea, do what you gotta do, and go do that session. So that gave me peace of mind, knowing that I wouldn't be penalized in any type of way for missing out. So I tell my kids about it, and my kids like in disbelief, especially my son, because I only have one son and I got 3 daughters. So me and my son, we got a special guy bond, And I talked to him about my goals and my dreams and different things like that. So we just connect in a certain way. And he was so excited, but he couldn't believe it, And I was like, man, when I do this, then this is more than likely going to be a national gig. So the way they break it down, you have local, which is basically in your city or something like that. It's a small area. like I live on the peninsula in Virginia. I'm sorry. They consider it the 7 cities, the 757 area code and stuff like that. So that's going to be Hampton, Newport News, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Williamsburg, Virginia Beach. Might be Suffolk and Chesapeake in there somewhere. I don't know. But anyways, that would be local. Regional would be Virginia, like the DMV or something like that. DC, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, that type of thing. There's one, I think it's one bigger than regional, but then you have national, which is the whole country, we hear it. And I'm almost 100% certain that this Black Panther thing is going to be national. I mean, it's Black Panther Part 2. So it got me really excited because that means more people will hear me. And hopefully that can bring about more work opportunities for me, And when I was in the session, the Hasbro people, they were like very, very pleased with what I was doing. They were like very gracious and kind and thankful and thanking me for, taking the time to do the session. And they loved my audition because I have natural gravitas and all these different things. So I was like, hey, I say thank you, but I'm always like, thank you so much for the opportunity, because I'm trying to make sure they know, hey, I'm ready to work with you again. Just give me the word. So I finally booked a session with Hasbro, and the reason it means so much to me because I grew up watching Transformers and G.I. Joe and, all those shows that, Hasbro was making toys for those shows and things like that. So for me to grow up knowing who Hasbro is and then being able to be a part of something they're putting out for a new generation of kids, it's like there'll be kids that'll remember my voice being on the commercial or something like that. So I just think overall it's just a very cool experience. To me, it was a very cool life experience. When I got to the studio, my buddy Peter, who's the engineer that recorded my demo when I first started working for the company, he gave me this big hug and he was like, Brad, this is what we've been waiting for. Like, we've been talking about this for so long, and finally the day is here, Hasbro, you know what I mean? So it was pretty dope. It was a great experience, and it gave me hope again. It kind of rejuvenated me as far as the voice acting thing goes, because I mean, I know, I keep in touch with some of the other voice actors, and things got slow all over. And then I'm just like, man, how am I going to build my clientele up if I'm not getting any clients? But one thing about me, I never give up faith. I never give up hope. Like, I never stop believing that it's possible. I never stop believing that it's possible. I just can't take that from me. So you might be like, what are you looking at? I'm looking at my computer screen because I got my mic plugged in to the laptop to power it, and then it powered down. Anyways, so that's what's going on with the voiceover stuff. So that's my update as far as the voiceover opportunity. It was a great moment for me. Now, now I want to talk to you about just, I guess, what's going on right now in my life. A little bit more rambling for you. You know what I'm saying? So school's getting ready to start next week, the 29th. That's Monday, first day of school. This year I'm teaching business, of course, but I'm also the transportation coordinator this year. This will be my 3rd year doing it, actually. And all that is I'll be out in the morning. I get there earlier than everybody else, and I welcome the buses and sign off the buses. I got like a little sheet. And when the buses arrive and go into their slots and stuff, I just, make sure all the buses are accounted for. That way the school, in the office, they can know, okay, all buses are in. We're not waiting on any students. We can go ahead and start the day. no heads up to the teachers that a bus is running late or anything like that. And then in the afternoon, I go out there, and as the buses come in, I'm checking them off, and I actually have a large amount of control over when dismissal happens. So I give them the signal like, okay, let's go ahead with the first group. So if we were dismissing 6th grade first, I'd be like, all right, let's go ahead and dismiss 6th grade. It's a frantic time, not super stressful for me, but it is frantic. It's hundreds of kids out there, and there's a bus driver shortage. So you got kids coming out there and their buses are not there, and you got to have extra teachers to hang around and, just kind of manage things so that they don't get into too much commotion and too much chaos start happening out there. They do give me a stipend though, so I'm not doing it for free. That helps. With that being said, I had an idea for a side hustle. If y'all remember, during the first official side hustle video, I was talking about the the books. What was it called? Not UCG. That's user generated content or something like that. But it's low content books. So planners, calendars, things like that. And I found a way that I can provide a service for a group that is supported in Newport News Public Schools. At least I believe they want to spread the organization out. But so what I'm going to do is, there's an organization for boys and there's an organization for girls, and they meet, and it's about encouraging and uplifting and empowering and things like that, all good things. But I noticed that they didn't necessarily have like a book or a guide or journal or anything for their group. So I did some digging, and I found some good information that will allow me to create a low content book specifically for those groups. So what I want to do is create the books. I want to purchase a couple, and then I present those to the people that are in charge of the group, and I can say, hey, I found this journal that y'all might be able to use. If they like it, then they'll go online and they'll purchase more, and they'll have what they need, and my side hustle will be a success. I will consider my side hustle a success with these low content books. If I sell one book, that is success. Take the victories as they come. Every victory won't be a huge victory, but it's like I'm just a firm believer that, it'll work if you work it. So many times we get caught up in our own minds and we defeat ourselves with the what ifs and all the questions and the fears and stuff, coming back from summer break, seeing teachers again and things like that. They say stuff like, hey, you ready? And I hear a lot of teachers say things like, I'm here, or someone won't long enough, and other things that just, it's not like extremely negative, but it just kind of lets you know that, people feel beaten, or, they feel like, this is just not worth the hassle. And I'm going to tell you, it is crazy. It has been crazy. Last year was something special. However, I made up my mind that this year I'm going to go in with a positive attitude. So whenever anybody asks me, hey, you ready? Yep. No more, no less. I don't elaborate. But in my mind, I'm expecting to have a great year. Even though I know it's going to come with different hardships, and we're going to have knuckleheads in our classes and things like that. That comes with the territory. You don't even have to be a teacher to have to deal with turds in your life. So I'm like, look, that's just par for the course. But I'm not going to sit here and let these students stress me out and ruin my day. It's like, no. Never. So I'm feeling pretty good. I got all my decorations and stuff up in my class today, so this was a very fruitful time. And I'm just like, hey, let's go. Ain't no use in dreading it or being stressed about it. It's like, man, we just get back to work, try to form some good relationship with some of these kids and be impactful to them, and just, help them to be hopeful about things. I learned last year, it's a lot of hopeless kids out here, a lot of kids that are neglected in many ways and stuff like that. But in my class, I don't allow them to use these things as excuses for doing poorly or for making poor choices and stuff. It's like, I understand where you're coming from, but you are not a baby. You make conscious choices, so when you get in trouble and you do these different things, there may be different reasons you felt compelled to do what you do. But all I challenge kids to do is think about it a little bit before you do it, put a little thought behind it and stop making excuses for yourself. Because when you get into the real world, you're going to be on the street somewhere, if you keep making poor choices, you're going to be locked up a part of the system or in the grave if you keep making excuses for dumb behaviors and for doing foolish things. All right. So there you have it. That is today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be looking at, I had a comment actually from a channel called I'm a Dad, or I Am a Dad ASMR. And there's some other folks that I've seen their channels and things like that, or they comment and they have a channel. I'm going to take a look at some of these channels, y'all. I'm going to get some feedback because I think that's going to help build us all up, or, it offers some encouragement and build us up. And, starting a channel is, like I told, I Am a Dad ASMR, it's brutal. When you first get started and people are just trickling in and you got 2 subscribers, you put a video up, you look at it 5 months later and you got under 100 views on the thing, you got like 30 something views. You start doubting and thinking that your content is trash and all these different things, but it's just like you're entering into a very large pool of people doing the same type of content. So it is difficult to stand out, and I'm thankful that my voice kind of sets me apart. But I would be even further than I am now if I was just more consistent. But, life happens, and now I'm trying to get back on the ball. And I've already seen a good amount of growth. We're over the halfway point to 5,000. We're at 4,550 last time I last checked. And the cool thing is about the channel, I never spent a whole lot of time looking at my analytics, but the other day I went and I looked at it and I was just trying to see who my audience is. Surprisingly, well, it was a surprise to me, but 98% of my audience are males from 18 to 37 or something like that, or 24 to 36. I was just like, man, I got mostly guys watching my channel. That's cool. And it's like, the people that appreciate your content, they will find you. I'll get more into that type of thing in my philosophy about the channels and stuff like that in the next video, when I actually give some feedback about some channels and things like that. But yeah, man, it's like my audience found me, and those that are into what I do and enjoy my personality and what I do and don't mind how I look, they come here and they support. I think every channel you have also more unsubscribed viewers than subscribed viewers. Sometimes I think people just trying to keep their subscription list from being so clogged up because they subscribe to so many channels. But I appreciate all the support I get from the people that have been down with the LGL for so long. So whether they press the like button or subscribe, I notice I never even ask anybody I don't ever say the word subscribe. I say be assimilated. I'm trying to think who gave me the word, though. It might have been Kyle. It might have been Kyle Hearn or Ryan or, oh my goodness, I can't remember who said it, but when he had said it in a comment, I was like, man, that's I like that word, be assimilated. So yeah, that's another word for subscribe, people. So if you have not subscribed, go ahead and do it. You know, no pressure, of course. We're going to grow regardless, but I would appreciate your subscription, and all that's going to do is help the channel to grow even faster, because I think eventually I will monetize the channel. You know, I just don't feel like it's the right time yet, you know. But I mean, this in itself can be a side hustle as well. I just that was never really my goal with the channel, though. I'm not worried about people looking at me like, oh man, you monetize, you a sellout. Nah, man, I got 4 kids and a wife. I gotta eat, got bills and stuff to pay. So I don't ever begrudge anyone for monetizing their channel and stuff. Yeah, ads can be irritating sometimes, especially when you're in the middle of a video, ASMR video or something like that. But people just trying to live out here, you know. So I think I'll stop right there. I'm gonna write a note so that I know what we're gonna be getting into next time. Some reviews, writing it right now. Reviews of other channels, and hopefully y'all can, you know, if you got a channel you want me to check out, I'll check it out. But be ready for the truth, you know. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and chill out. That is that. I gotta go do this workout. I'm ready. And maybe one day I'll show y'all a little workout video or something like that. I ain't promising nothing, because I just don't want to make that promise. But y'all be good, y'all be blessed, y'all be safe, and get those side hustles going. You know, we can do it, y'all. It'll work if we work it. So remember that. It will work if you work it. Peace.